up, fellow toasties? This is your favorite paranormal podcast, Ghosted, Roasted, and Toasted. I'm Ash.
I'm Elena.
And I'm Annabelle.
Where we explore, investigate, and discuss all of our ghosted adventures
while sharing our specially designed cocktail for the night. Come laugh and drink along with us in our misadventures.
And feel free to roast us along the way.
I'm Annabelle. I'm the one who got us into this shit. I'm Ash. I never wanted to do this shit in the first place.
And I'm Elena. I love this shit. Just a quick disclaimer, we are a rated R podcast. If you're uncomfortable with cursing, sexual content, and a dark sense of humor, now is your time to back out. If you are cool with that, then let's jump into today's episode. So we decided on a whim, my mom's husband's son, so my mom's stepson, it's just weird to say that, but anyways, my mom's stepson flew up from Dallas and we're trying to think of some fun local things to do. Josh isn't super adventurous, so we didn't want to go to like Tetons or Yellowstone because those are things that I think that he would find a lot of interest in.
He's an outdoorsy kind of kid.
Right. So we decided, you know, it'd be really fun, which we've done before, and we'll kind of tell you some like things that we did or we had like happen last time that we were there, but we're not going to focus on the past stuff because we didn't really record, you know, like anything. We decided to go to a place called Massacre Rocks. It's right outside of Pocatello. Not actually sure what city it's in. Do you?
I think it's near American Falls.
It's near American Falls, but is it American Falls?
I don't know that it's in American Falls.
Oh, it is American Falls.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Good for me. Ding, ding, ding.
So Massacre Rocks, science side of it, it's way cool to see. It was it was the largest flood in America in like the history of the world, I believe. When you get there's just these house-sized boulders are just scattered around this area that were moved from how massive. I mean, think about how much water and how fast it had to be flowing to move these house-sized boulders across the country. Like it went all the way like to Wisconsin, I want to say, and down into like Oklahoma area, like massive flood.
Where did all that water come from?
I think it was like a natural dam, and so when that natural dam broke, all that water was released. So the Massacre Rocks is based off of the Snake River like flow. So the river that you're looking at when you look out to Massacre Rocks is the Snake River, and then you can see when you're looking at the ridgeline, it's like this like really wide U, and that's where it broke off into the flood. The Bonneville flood is what it's called. But what we know Massacre Rock for is two reasons. The first one is that there was a massacre around Massacre Rocks, which is why it's called Massacre Rocks. Because the Bonneville flood happened 14,000 years ago. There might have been indigenous people living back then, but I don't know if there's a record of it. But when people were coming up here through the Oregon trails, because it's such a narrow passage, they were worried about being ambushed. And so there is a story that they were in fact ambushed. 8 to 10 immigrants were killed in this ambush,
and
along
20
with
Shoshone, I believe, right?
20 Shoshone Native Americans, were killed. But if I understand correctly, there's no record of this, so this might be more of like a urban legend or a old wives' tale more than it is actual historical fact. But
we did get some stuff.
The second thing that Massacre Rock is known for is water babies. And if you don't know what a water baby is, it's a Native American tale, and there is controversy between, was it Native American tribe or was it pioneers who did this, but there is belief that there was a famine that either affected the Native Americans or the pioneers, and because of that famine, mothers didn't want to see their children starve slowly to death, or the newborns. This was too many mouths to feed, and so they drowned the babies in the Snake River.
Again, urban legend. Supposedly.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. But those babies learned that the story behind it is those babies learned how to almost kind of fish for themselves. They grew gills and tails, and they survived off of small fish in the Snake River. And because they are spiteful of their untimely death, they try to lure people into the water and have them drown, just like I said, like they drowned.
Now, we didn't really research that part of it too much this time.
Yeah.
But we do plan on going back.
Yes, we're going back solely for water babies next time. They said that if you sit by the water shore and you just quiet and just pay attention, you should hear what sounds like a baby crying for its mother, and that's their lure to get you into the water. So,
right.
But that's not what we focus on. We focus more on like the not historical.
Yeah, we were just kind of seeing, could we get anything? What would we get? What would it say?
Yeah.
We used a lot of technology, some voice boxes, some EMGs. Okay. Some EMF readers, and a spirit box.
Yes.
And we had the kids with us,
We
right?
did. I had my 6-year-old, my 9-year-old, and Josh is 13.
Right, and then my husband, and me and you. And it was intriguing. We got a lot of stuff that didn't make sense at first, and then as we researched, it all kind of came together. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. Also, I think what's really fascinating is that there's some more times than not in this whole time. Like, as I said, we've been before. We got a lot of consistent responses that matched the first time that we had been to Massacre Rock. And the second place we went to,
especially
the second place we went to is Register Rock.
Yeah.
And Register Rock is really cool. I'm guessing it's probably one of the boulders that were moved in the flood, but it's just the specific boulder that the pioneers decided was a good rock to carve their names and their date as they passed through this area. And some of them were on the Oregon Trail. Some of them are people who settled in that local area. And are we the Magic Valley?
I believe that's Magic Valley, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But pioneers who settled in the Magic Valley. So it's this massive rock, and it's just got all these old names on it, dating back from like 1867, 1885. Some as early or as like recent as, maybe 1930 might have been one of the more recent ones.
But then they protected the rock so that it couldn't continue to wear, and people wouldn't like carve over other names.
Which interesting, you can see it sinking into the ground, and I wonder how big the rock actually is.
I know, that's kind of, so there's 2 rocks there, right? We're talking specifically about the one that everybody registered on, but there's another rock there, and it's also sank, and it's got some cool history to it, and we actually have some, stuff related to it. We're going to tell them the story, so.
Was the first, you read it with the kids, and so I need to be refreshed, but the first rock, which is still kind of protected, but not nearly as protected as Register Rock, I believe the kid was he 7?
I think he was 7. His name was J.J. Henson, and he came on the trail, and he actually took the smaller rock that was near Register Rock, and he carved in 2 pictures, one of a Native American, and it looks a lot like what you would visualize the headdress and everything, right? And then the other was either of, they're not real sure, but either the preacher that was on the trail with him, or it was some sort of fatherly figure. And so
which was the first one though? Was it the fatherly figure and they came back into the Native American, right? Or did he do Native American
did
first?
both of the faces when he was 7. But then he came back as an adult, and he dated it and put his signature on it.
Gotcha.
As an adult.
So this kid, he carved into it, right?
Yeah.
And he ended up going, was it Oregon? He went to university or institute in Oregon and became like a really popular artist.
A sculptor, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Yeah, so he started early.
Yeah.
He got famous. I guess he heard that there was traction on this rock that he carved in.
Right.
So he came back and he put his name and he dated this. There's 2 dates on there: the date that he originally carved, and the date that he returned.
Can you imagine being a kid on the Oregon Trail? I mean, I just can't wrap my brain around what did they see, how long it took them, how we complain when we don't have AC in our car.
So I thought about that a lot when I worked my Bureau of Land Management job. Because we hiked these mountains 10 miles a day, 10 hours a minimum.
Yeah.
Most of the time it was 11 and a half. Thanks, Matt. We also just couldn't get back in time. But I thought about that. And they did these things. What was it would take almost 1.5 years to 2 years to get across.
Yeah, so I think I read somewhere, because it's actually in the museum. There is a museum over at the Massacre Rock side.
That's right.
And we went, because we went in and they had some really cool stuff in there. And it read that they only got 20 miles in an 8-hour day or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they would leave pretty early. I think they would pack up around 5 a.m. and they would travel 20 miles a day averaging.
Yeah.
And I think they said they would stop somewhere around, so I guess about 12-hour day.
Yeah.
They would stop somewhere around 5 or 6 to set up camp and get fires going and dinner. And I don't know if you guys did it, but we did it in 5th grade, the Oregon Trail project. And we would have to, they'd give us a list of things that we could bring that would fit. The size of them, the price, like how much a bag of rice cost. They'd give us a certain amount of money, and we had to figure out a way to load our wagons up, save enough room for us to kind of sleep in, right? Because you had children, they'd tell you how many family members you had. Huh. So then you would know how many you had to feed for the next however many months. And so you had to base like what you would buy to make that long trek. It was actually a really interesting project in 5th grade. You know, you started.
I didn't have that I remember, but I did have the game.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure even at school I died of famine or dysteria.
I died of famine so many times, and look, fat me needs to eat, okay?
Did anybody ever actually win the game? Is there winning the Oregon Trail?
Somebody tell us, did you win?
Yes.
Dude, put it on our Facebook.
You know what? If you won, we'll send you we'll send you something.
We'll send you some sort of propaganda.
And I feel like everyone's going to say if they won, though. We can't really prove it.
Oh, yeah, we need proof. We need
screenshot.
Screenshot.
How you gonna screenshot and you gotta play Oregon Trail again on an old man?
Some people still have it.
Do they really?
I'm sure somebody does.
You know what? I wonder if there's an Oregon Trail game now. I'm gonna look it up and I want to play it.
Oh, so need to play it.
I know, it'd be funny.
I feel like I killed the cow too, or the ox. Like there was an ox.
I think you were killed by an ox, which is or
Possibly.
trampled. Could you be trampled?
Possibly.
I don't remember. You know what's funny is like, this is how trash I am. I used to play Oregon Trail with Todd and Daniel, which were my childhood friends, while we blared Kid Rock.
Toddy!
We'd blare Kid Rock like that was good music. We were like
Kid Rock
10.
is good music. Excuse me.
We were 10!
Excuse me, Kid Rock is awesome.
Would you let Kenneth and Charlotte just like blare Kid Rock in their room?
No, but I was a cool mom.
And like if the equivalent of that today would be like Charlotte listened to Cardi B. You know?
No, like, I don't know how those two compare.
It was rough.
WAP.
I'm saying if you think about like the way things have changed, like what was acceptable then versus what's acceptable now, they're probably on par.
True. I thought WAP stood for Women Against Pornography. Is that not what it stands for?
Who the fuck is against pornography? I'm on the wrong side of feminism. Anyways, so if you ever get a chance, if you're driving through the Magic Valley on your way to wherever you're going,
Boise maybe or something,
and you want to stop in these places, I highly recommend it. It's easy to walk around Massacre Rock, and Register Rock is just a drive to that little campsite, so like you don't have to like do a lot, but it's just really fascinating stuff. But let's get into the ghost shit part of it.
Yes, lots of ghost shit actually happened.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay, so the first thing that we did when we got there was we pulled up the spirit box.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the spirit box is, Mom, can you explain it?
So I have an app on my phone. Well, there's a couple of apps on our phone that we use when we ghost hunt.
Pause. Also, let's address the elephant in the room. Ashley's not here with us today.
Oh, Ashley.
I know, miss you too, baby.
I miss her.
She's still part of this podcast. She just has a lot going on. She just got a promotion. Her children
promotion.
Yep, Thea just went to kindergarten for the first time.
Faye's in preschool. And just got a job.
I know.
Finally.
Yeah, so she just has a lot going on, and we didn't want to ask her to kind of halt her life for a second and record us. So she's still part of the podcast. Ashley's not gone. She'll be back. We actually have some things planned. We have things planned internationally.
Yep. Greece.
Yep, Greece is our go-to.
Greece is the word, the word that you heard.
Not that Greece, the one with the sea.
Oh. I love John Travolta.
I would just love to do some investigation at, like, the Parthenon.
Oh my God.
Or, like, we could probably hop over to Rome. I don't know how to realize it.
Can you hop there?
We could go to the Colosseum.
Ooh.
Think about doing it in, like, ghost hunting in the Colosseum.
Do you know how many people died there?
Exactly.
They got like eaten by lions.
Exactly.
What if we hear a lion roar? Oh, I'm so excited now. I'm so excited. That's cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got things planned. We might do Vegas again because we've done, we actually, the only thing we ever did kind of haunted was we went to Zach Baggins.
So speaking of bagel bites, there is now. Did I tell y'all this already? Now for like I don't know a minimal amount of money, we can get locked in there. Like, just me, you, and Ashley.
So, I love your enthusiasm. But she tried to beat down the door in the demon box room, so I don't know why she thinks that she could possibly...
Okay, I'm not going in there with you because you tried to kill me.
You're also claustrophobic, and have you ever been to the Zach Baggins... What is it called? Like...
It's the... I think it's the Baggins Haunted Museum in Las Vegas.
Something like that. Yeah. It's crowded. It is... They have a lot of stuff, which is great, and I always wonder if every tour is a little bit different because there's just so many things to go over.
Right.
But I just worry about your claustrophobia.
Come to find out, he's got like 2 or 3 other warehouses too in Vegas, full of stuff that's not even in there. But anyway, you can stay. You can get locked in there. We can get locked in there, Elena.
Crazy.
Elena.
I'm down.
Elena.
You don't have to convince me. I'm not the one you have to convince. It's the short one with the big mouth.
Oh, Ashley. Ashley, are you listening?
Probably not.
Ashley. I know. I actually texted her about it already, and she said no. And I said, but you have to protect me from Elena because last time we were there, she tried to kill me. And she was like, fine.
Fine. Well, I wonder if we could find like Rat Pack stuff to like investigate in Las Vegas.
Yeah. So there was a museum. I know we're getting totally off like kilter, but there was a museum. There was a hotel when the casino's there. But it's been destroyed. It's been, yeah. But I'm sure there's other stuff we could find, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think it was the Flamingo. Was it the Flamingo that they ended up?
I don't know. I don't know much about the Rat Pack, honestly.
That was it. But, dude, yeah, we should totally do that.
Yeah.
We have lots of plans.
So, back to the spirit box.
Yes. So, I got Kenneth.
Who's my son and mom's, well, not your mom, my mom.
It's my grandson.
She had a
yes. And Kenneth is awesome. He's super excited, totally in the paranormal. Mm-hmm. He gets it from his nana.
Until the lights go out.
Yeah, he does get a little scared when it gets dark.
Yeah. And
Charlotte is the
she's a spawn.
Yeah, that girl, hot mess. But love her, my other grandchild. But this is Kenneth, and so he's telling us what he just heard on the spirit box, which I let him have while we were out at Massacre Rock.
Said phenomenon twice. I will eat you. Don't go up there. Do you see him?
Oh, wow.
You were so excited.
Yeah, so that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was the start of it.
Right.
And again, we're taking it from a 9-year-old, so I kind of took it with a grain of salt. But Kenneth was on top of that stuff.
Yeah, he was.
So the next recording that we had was with Warren, and he spy a sign that kind of gives you the history of the Bonneville flood and how far it expanded. And one of the places it reaches was Hagerman, which reminds you, Hagerman is not far in Idaho. So when we talk about how massive this flood was, consider the fact that water runs down, right? So water's going to run from north to south. So if it had to be a lot of water to make its way up that far north, which is probably still about 2 hours.
Oh yeah, easy.
I would say north. So that's a lot. That's a lot of water to be pushed forward north.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yes, this is a recording from Warren.
Oh.
Hold on, what did it say, Warren?
It said west of Hagerman because I was reading
It said, uh-oh. Did you just hear
And then what did yours say immediately?
It said, yeah.
I don't really know what Ken said.
Yeah.
I think he was just so excited. If you see in the video, he just looks at the camera, just like his eyes are just like bugging out. And he's like, yeah.
I think he was on sensory overload, right? He's like paying attention to any word that's said.
Yeah.
And then like his little brain couldn't compute. It was so many things.
Yeah, but it is interesting that as Warren's reading the sign about it reaching all the way to Hagerman, then it says Hagerman, which we got a lot of what seems like intelligent responses.
Yeah, and Hagerman's not like an easy word or a normal word for somebody to say or hear.
In fact, I called it Hagerman for a long time because that's kind of what it looks like, and then I found out it's called... Idaho doesn't like to pronounce things pretty, so like Hagerman would be prettier than Hagerman, and they call lava hot springs lava hot springs. They can't call it lava; it's got to be lava.
Well, if you're from here,
it's lava. Period. Just tourists don't know that. But why?
I don't know.
I think it's ugly.
I don't know. I know it does sound ugly, doesn't it? Lava.
Like
with your nose. Hold your nose.
Yeah.
Lava.
Or like with a little country accent. Okay, so then we had that. So it was kind of nice to be able to pinpoint or like get a geological reference.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yep.
Then we have another clip. It's Kenneth and Cody, I believe. So let's see.
Hear you. It just said, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
A male voice. What did it say? What? Oh, wow. Say it again, Warren. So what happened?
Josh, he asked if my phone with my system, if he can ask a question, and then your system said, can I ask a question? Who's the people in charge?
I'm in charge. I heard you say something, but I couldn't make it out.
So I said I am in charge because I had at the time had out my there's an app that I use that they can find words and it spells the words out. And so Warren asked who's in charge, and my app said I am in charge.
Right. Also, like, I don't know if you were done, like, you know, you might, I don't know, this might be new to you, but sometimes there's kind of a person who's like an Inuit, isn't that what's called? When that person is the one who channels the spirits.
Or like a conduit.
Conduit, that's what the Inuit. I feel like that's a indigenous person, and
I don't know if I was going to say
we're going to edit this one out, because
yeah.
I'm not sure where that word came from. I'm not sure if it's derogatory or not. Anyways, better say than sorry. But yeah, sometimes someone is a conduit, and that just means that they're kind of the person. So I wonder when they were asking, like, who's in charge, like, they were asking, like, who's the conduit here?
Oh, right.
Because I think we went back and we played it, and what sounds, Kenneth's thing says Kenneth, which makes
in this one?
Yes, which makes me wonder if someone was answering Kenneth as the conduit. I wonder if they were.
And that's true. Kenneth did get a lot of responses, right? He would ask questions, they would respond, or they would respond to other people's questions to Kenneth. Mm-hmm. So let's play that one again.
Before you were thinking I'm a bad mother, we did a lot of, like, protection before all this.
Yes.
I made sure my kids' mental health was safe. They weren't, like, scared or nervous or uncomfortable. I asked them multiple times, like, are you okay? And there was a couple times, especially at Register Rock, where Kenneth had to walk away. We'd walk away, we'd take a breather, we'd talk about it.
Say a prayer, tell ourselves a light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So I'm not an awful mother.
Well, we're well versed.
But I am not perfect.
We're well versed in the things that we practice and the things that we believe. Mm-hmm. And we believe that we protect ourselves, we protect our children. And this may be abnormal for other people, but it's not abnormal for our entire family.
Yeah, it's almost cultural for us.
Yeah, it's been bred in me since I was little. Yeah. Aunts, uncles, grandmothers, blah, blah, blah. So if you have a problem with it, we appreciate you listening. Scroll on to the next podcast.
You know, just give us a good 3 stars and walk the fuck out.
A solid 3-star rating. Okay, so let's go back and listen to that one again. And it'd be nice for the audience if they could really pay attention. If they hear something that we didn't hear.
Because there's a few things that we still can't
We still can't make out. But if there's something that you hear that you go, oh no, this is what it said, please let us know, because we'd love to know.
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm in charge.
It said it. Say it again.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I feel like I didn't. I feel like I
It said and something. It said and this.
Kenneth, that's where it said Kenneth.
Oh.
It's like we're listening all over again, right? Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, it was like a whisper.
Oh, that was something. Let's play that back.
I didn't hear it
That was interesting because it did catch the Kenneth. Mm-hmm. I don't think before we caught whatever that second one was.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that was
yeah,
kind of that gave me goosebumps all over again, y'all.
It's kind of funny to listen to my kids because, like, Kenneth's hearing one thing and then Charlotte's hearing another one thing, and they're like clashing on what they both hear, you know. And then Charlotte will just agree with whatever Kenneth says it said.
Right. Well, that's what little sisters do, right?
Oh, that's her.
So that is where they said Kenneth. I mean, that was a clear Kenneth.
Yeah.
And then, but whatever that next thing was, we'll have to go back and listen even more.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of the time. Maybe by the time we edit this.
You know what? We'll just leave it to interpretation. Did you guys hear anything?
Oh, that's
that we
true.
didn't hear?
There you go. There you go.
Okay, what happened?
Josh, asked it if he was a victim or she was a victim of the flood, and it said, I'm moving closer.
So we took that as they were moving closer to the water. So at this point, Mom, Warren, and Josh made their way down to this. Because when you first start Massacre Rock, you're kind of at a higher level. And then you either walk down to the water or you can drive down to the water. So they chose to drive. Me and the kids chose to walk. Because there is a nice little... It's really interesting. Maybe I'm just a nerd. But... Hold on.
There's like a little cave.
Cat drop.
Cat drop.
it's not really a cave, as it's like these 3 or 4 boulders that just for the flood, I guess, just caused them to create this perfect little, like a cave.
It looks like a Flintstone house. That's what I think.
Yeah, it does look like a Flintstone house. And so me and the kids decided we also just like to adventure. When you can't take us outside because then we just start walking places when we go.
Yeah, you're hikers.
Yeah. So we took the spirit box with us and we decided that we were going to go underneath the little Flintstone house. And on the way down there, so Charlotte was just wearing little sandals. So we go down to this little cave, or as we're going down, Charlotte trips one of these rocks that have been eroded by wind. And they kind of stick up almost like, not like spikes, but I don't know how to explain it without... But they're tiny.
But they're kind of sharp.
And Charlotte falls. She doesn't get hurt, but immediately, and I wish I had my phone not recording. If you would have heard it, it is a clear ha 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 ha, laughing at her falling, and that was probably the first time Charlotte got freaked out because.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someone's laughing at her falling. She's 6, and Kenneth stops and he looks at me and he's like, "Was it laughing?" It is a clear. I really wish I would have recorded it. I just didn't think to record as we're hiking,
Yeah.
Hold my kids' hands. But
and that was on the
on the way down to the
that Kenneth was holding the spirit box.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And it's just a ha 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 ha, which it's really weird to get repetitive sounds on the spirit box because it's going through so many different channels.
Right.
At so fast, the frequency is really high, and it was the same tone, same like dialect, like same. It was so weird, and that made me uneasy because
that's creepy.
Yeah. So we get down to the cave, and Kenneth is super stoked to go underneath it, and he walks it, and not 2 seconds into walking into that cave, it says, "Get out of my home," and Kenneth books it out of there. And he's like, and I actually have it recorded. Let me pull it up real quick. It's been a minute. So then, because Kenneth's freaked out, I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the spirit box and I'll go under, because he was, and Kenneth was like super into this stuff. His entire persona over this whole thing changed that very second because it freaked him out really bad. Oh, also we forgot to say that one of the first things on the spirit box said rainbow, and that becomes important later.
Yes.
Rainbows.
Oh,
wow.
Rainbows. I'm like, what?
That you just landed on that one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Some of them. Rainbows and some of them.
That's the one I was meaning to get to. I don't know what this one says. Let's see.
Can you tell it's windy?
Yeah, listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
You ever heard anything crazy yet? Watch for snakes, okay, baby?
Yeah, the first one
Yeah, I wasn't sure there's anything that was on that one. That's not you. Good boys.
Oh gosh.
Or step on the side of your feet. This is right after Charlotte fell.
How fast is it going now?
Charlotte had just fallen at this point, which is why I tell her to step on the side of your feet, because as you're going down, like if you're going down a steep slope, that's like the best way to go down it. But this is when I decided to pull my phone out and start recording, because this one was like, it was insane. Like I don't know how to explain it, but too bad. Let's go check it out.
It's going really fast.
So let's get to safer grounds before we start trying to see what Bubby's doing, okay?
No, I don't want to go backwards.
You don't want to go into the cave? We love the
backwards.
Cave. It's creepy. You don't have to go under, but let's go.
Look, it's going backwards.
Oh, I think it just started over again. We're going to that cave, little cave right there.
What is it?
Right
It
there.
said phenomenal.
Again, and that was
It
later
hurt a
in the
lot.
day.
Mm-hmm. So we'll post these videos. One, you can kind of see the rocks I'm talking about that Charlotte fell on. There's not really anything in these ones I just showed, but just to keep me accountable, you can see the chain of events. So this is there's the video where Kenneth starts to go under it. I'm recording it first, and then I tell him to take it and record it because he freaks out. Also, Charlotte loves this little rock house.
And she was not wanting to go. That's strange. It's strange for her.
And she loves adventure. That girl is all over the place all the time. So both the kids act a little weird with this place. Tell me if it says anything.
Oh, okay.
What?
It said get out of my home.
Oh my gosh.
It did.
Like, quick.
You said get out of my home.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear anything.
You
Hard to
said
hear
it
'cause the
very
wind.
quietly. You said,
And they were under the rock.
barely you could hear it. You said get out of my home.
Try it again.
Get out of my home.
Or you hold it and I'll go under. Just keep recording, okay?
No.
You just record. You just record.
You can't hear him, but he's saying no. He's,
Oh, no, I heard
he's adamant about going back under that rock. And he's so worried about going back under the rock, he's not hearing me say, I will go under it.
Right.
He's so freaked out because he's not been freaked out at this point yet.
We'll go under it.
So I gotta crawl on my hands and my knees.
Maybe that's where the devil is.
Oh my god.
I just got chills from my head to my freaking toes.
I didn't hear that the first time I went over this.
Wow. That's not something Charlotte would say.
No.
Oh my gosh. That's super creepy and scary.
Super creepy. Also, we were just doing a little bit like our back research on Massacre Rocks before we
Started the
this is freaking me
podcast.
out.
That
this is freaking
too,
me out.
Too close to home.
So we're doing a little bit of research on Massacre Rock, just that when we gave you we just want to be refreshed when we gave you a background of Massacre Rocks and kind of find out the other name for it is the Devil's Gate. Mm-hmm.
And what'd she say?
Maybe that's where the devil lives. And what does that look like?
Oh my god, it looks like a gate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so creeped out.
Me too. I've never heard that before.
No.
But I mean, I tried to listen to it outside, so of course I missed her little whisper.
Yeah.
Just said be easy.
You said get out of my home with me.
I believe you. I was testing it. You can't let it know you're scared of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Woo.
Wow. I'm telling you, like the creepy, like my hair standing up on top of my head. Like seriously.
Yeah.
That's.
So that's an organic response right there because
Ooh,
I
no idea.
I had no idea that Charlotte said that.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm so creeped out.
Maybe I should bring the kids back to Massacre Rocks. But we love hiking there.
I mean,
you know what's funny is that we don't actually get malevolent stuff
no,
at
but
Massacre Rocks.
this
It's
is
Register Rock.
It's Register Rock that we, but we didn't really do a lot of research at Massacre Rocks last time. We did a lot at Register Rock.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just think that because everyone signed that rock, there's probably a lot more attachment there, but I don't know.
I am seriously freaked out. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's so close to
I think
home.
we both gasped at the same
I
time.
know. Like, what did she just say? Oh my gosh, y'all don't even know. Like, literally, the hair standing up on my arms.
I feel sick.
I know. Yeah.
So after this, let's just get back to the story.
Woof.
After I just said I wasn't a bad mom, and my kids over there. Okay, anyways.
Woof.
So, oh, Charlotte.
Mm.
So, Mom and them had made their way down to the water, so we started walking down there, following the trail as much as we could. Then we realized the trail didn't actually go down to the water that we were following, and so, anyways, we cut through. And Mom, Warren, Josh, and them were just in the car. They didn't actually get out, and they were, just like the Spirit app. What were you using?
Yeah, so it's a Spirit Box app, and we've had good results with it in the past. So it was when we were just sitting in the car, kind of waiting on y'all, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. So I'll play it.
Now we're in the lower plateau part of Massacre Rock.
So let's go back to that. Let's just, if y'all can make out what this thing is saying.
So, can we actually pause for a second?
Yeah.
I gotta post a picture of this little Flintstone house. And it just dawned on me what be easy would mean.
Beelzebub.
Huh?
Beelzebub.
Nope, not where I was going with that.
Nope.
I was thinking about how easy it would be to drop that rock on top of me.
Oh.
So it just told Kenneth to get out, and then I go
correlates.
under it, and it just was like, and it wasn't like a be easy, like a question. It was
Yeah.
like a statement.
Yeah, that correlates with some of the stuff that's coming up a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
I got chills down my spine. Down my spine. I'm not even lying.
Like, I just dodged death.
And y'all know I'm a medium. I did not pick up any of this stuff while we were there, but there was so much going on, but I couldn't like focus on one particular thing when I was there. And I was kind of letting everybody else kind of.
You also weren't anywhere near this area. Y'all didn't go over here. We did.
But normally I would get some sort of feeling, right?
You did, which is why you didn't want to go over there. You told me that at the top of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but it's also a little bit because I don't hike.
But you wouldn't want to walk over there at least, not go under it. But you looked at me and you said, "No, I hate that thing." Remember?
Oh, I sure did, didn't I?
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird how it all correlates when you start thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so again, we were sitting in my truck. And we're waiting on you guys to come down, and I have the spirit box going. There is something that gets said at the beginning. We can't quite make it out, and if you can, let us know.
It says is slowed down a little bit. Some of them get even slower, which is weird.
I know.
So it's kind of hard, and also it sounds really creepy because it is being slowed down.
Yeah, and the tone. Although I said this before, the tone is like one that seems to be on there a lot.
Yeah.
But it has given us other tones.
Yeah, we've gotten female, we've gotten
yeah, on this one. So this creepy, dark, deep voice, I don't know if it's built into the system, but we have gotten other tones.
Yeah.
So just know, so that you know that.
Now we're in the lower plateau part of
I almost thought it said something about a rock.
Snake River's just right behind us. Warren has his first EMF thing on.
The jingling you hear is a Coke can, sorry, in the background. My husband doesn't know how to be quiet.
I was thrown
off the ground. We knew we got that one. We knew what that one said.
What fell off the ground?
See, I think it was like it's answered me.
Is it saying my whole body? Is that what it's saying?
Well, let's rewind.
We cannot figure out what it's saying, that second half.
What fell off the ground?
No, that's not what it's saying. I don't know what it's saying. What about you?
Did you get engulfed by the water from the flood?
Go back. It might be what about you? What would you do?
Oh, what would you do? Or just get 2 words again.
What fell off the ground?
No. I feel like it changes every time I get close to what it is.
Weird.
It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. Okay, you guys can
Did you get
understand it.
engulfed by the water from the flood?
Something about drown.
That's what I was gonna say. Something about drown. But it's so slow.
Something about, yeah, I don't know. Let's try it one more time and we'll shut up so you guys can hear.
We can speed it up there.
Were you a native or a settler?
Or other. Are you elemental?
That was the only time I got a feeling. Is I thought it might have been elemental.
Very slow.
Okay, let's play that again. That's the last response that we get before we pause it for just a second.
Also, it's talking right as the cat decided to make noise.
Yeah, love the cat.
Very slow.
That was very slow. So that was it. That was over.
So that one's, the only thing we've got that's really clear on that one is I was thrown off the ground. Let's take a short pause for some ASMR.
Huh?
Stop talking. You're not supposed to talk during ASMRs.
What is ASMR?
So the sound thing. So we're going to do the glubs from the wine. This is actually for Ashley. It's her favorite part of wine. She likes to drink wine. She just likes the glub noise.
Okay, all right, and
There was no glub, but there's the pouring.
I thought it was pretty organic. Sorry for the cough.
It was organic, the cough or the wine?
But yeah.
It's not organic, it's barefoot. Okay, so that's our first, like, do we have anything else from the plateau?
I don't think from Massacre Rock. I think or Massacre Rocks. I don't know why I can't pluralize.
There we go.
That word. Anyway, I think that's it on that. So I think we're pretty done. Like I think we were all getting kind of a creepy feeling. We said it's time to go.
Charlotte wasn't liking the sound of the box.
Yeah.
That was making her nervous, and then, and we just really couldn't understand what it was saying.
Yeah.
Except for I was thrown off the ground. That one is so incredibly clear. It's insane.
Very clear.
So the next thing we moved over to was Register Rock, and we always get really malevolent shit over at Register Rock.
Yeah, some pretty dark things.
Yeah, the first time that we went, we were told, when we asked who it was, they said Satan.
This was last year. Last year we
yeah.
went on kind of a little family outing.
Mm-hmm. And we did go with the kids that time too, but we didn't let them partake in actually any of it. And when it did come up that it said Satan, we immediately got out of there, and we have not. Kenneth has no idea, and to this day he's still curious. He wants to know what it said.
Yeah.
But it said that it was Satan, and then it was saying things like
devil,
fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah, it was mean.
It was very mean. And as you'll see, it's pretty much the same incident here. I don't know what it is about Register Rock. That's just so evil, mean. I don't know. I think there's definitely more than one spirit that's attached kind of to that place. It also might be. Well, here's my. I had a theory that I just kind of figured that Register Rock might almost kind of be like a train station, you know, in the sense that people come and go. But the reason I don't think that theory fits anymore is because we got almost the exact same stuff this time as we got last time.
That's true, and some of it I do think is
like reoccurring. So they don't realize they've passed; they're just reliving those events.
Right, but then some of it was pretty intelligent.
Yes, yeah. So it's pretty hit and miss. So we loaded up we actually went to the gift shop. And if you ever do stop by Massacre Rocks, definitely go to the gift shop. It's reasonably priced.
There's not a whole lot of things in there, but the things that were kind of cool.
It also funds the department.
The state park, yeah.
Yeah. And he was super cool. He let us park for free because we were just walking, and so we felt like we should pay back. Plus, Charlotte had to get a stuffy.
Of course.
Yeah. Anyways, so then you only drive about maybe 3 miles total to get over to Register Rock, which is across the overpass. And it kind of pops out of nowhere. You go over a bridge, and then you make an immediate
It really isn't the most
left.
random, when you look at the interstate, the most random place
you
ever.
wouldn't really, if there wasn't signs that pointed Register Rock this way, you would never know it was out there. It's not showy by any means. It's the smallest little campground ever.
It's a really cool little campground, though.
So, you pull in, and Register Rock's right there. Again, you pay a $5 fee to go into the park.
It's a really cute. We should totally stay the night there one night, I think.
You know, but without the kids, because we always get really malevolent stuff.
Yeah.
So first we let the kids do a little tour.
Running around.
Yeah. Kenneth's super excited to get to ghost hunting, and Charlotte, there's this one rock, and it's very obvious which one it is if you ever go out there. It's got a bunch of slide, but
you can see where people their butts have slid down it so many times.
It's just this normal rock, but I guess I don't know how it's turned into a slide somehow over time, but it has, and Charlotte loves it. She climbs up it and then she slides down it, and it's right next to the rock that the kid carved into.
Right.
And I don't actually remember a whole lot from Register Rock, and I don't think that we actually got a lot of recordings because we were using your phone.
So, unfortunately, this is what happens, right? We actually had a lot of stuff happen there.
A lot.
But because we were so into it, we forgot to freaking record. I do have one recording that I know of.
I think I might have some too. I do.
And I have a picture, by the way. We'll put it on our Facebook of the rock that J.J. Hansen, that he drew. Hansen drew. And so it on the little informational board, it says the Indian head and preacher head carved on this rock and dated in 1866 is the work of J.J. Hansen at age 7. So we were right earlier. At this time, he was traveling along the Oregon Trail with his parents to Portland, Oregon. You were right. In 1908, after becoming a sculptor, he returned to review his work. During this visit, he again dated the rock under the Indian carving, or as we say, Native Americans, not Indians. But anyway, that was pretty neat. And then this is the one recording I do know we got.
Hi, Warren. We are at Register Rock. So what just happened?
A little bit low.
sat down and asked it if there was anybody here, and it said run. Then I asked it if there's Irish people here, and it said in blood.
And you are?
Irish blood. Who is there?
Who is there?
So a little background, my husband's from Ireland, so he thought maybe it was related directly to him. Turns out it wasn't.
Nope.
That it was...
Well, so we get a name eventually, but before we get there, hold on.
Okay, so this is Register Rock. This is where a lot of the pioneers, as they were traveling through, stopped and they carved the rock. You can see 1882 right there, 1885. There's one down here at 1735. And right here, you can reach it and you can touch it. So kind of see if the EMF reader lights up.
It blinked once as a strong signal and then went away.
Ask it a question.
If there's someone here, can you please talk to me?
If you touch that device, it'll light up.
If you touch the device, it'll light up.
Bring it close to the rock again.
We don't actually get anything except for that one little blurb right here. And then...
So Mom, tell us what just happened.
So, did you say?
You heard that in the background?
So it says bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone here. Okay, so this we asked where they give us a name, and
That's a long one.
that was really long. It said Register Rock, and then Elena said, "What name stands out to you?" And Elena said, "Is it McGuire?" So then she walked.
Okay, because let me show you why. Right there is right there. McGuire, 1885.
Can I see?
You gotta see the rock video.
And as she walked off, it said McGuire, loud as can be.
Is it McGuire 1885?
And earlier, it had mentioned something about being. I'm gonna do something. Kill. It asked something about Irish blood. It said in blood, Irish in blood. So in McGuire, I would assume is McGuire Irish or is it
McGuire's
Scottish?
Irish is both.
So last time we were here, we're not gonna say it loud because there's children here, but what told us it was here?
It says Satan.
Immortal.
Who mouth
And it said
Satan.
immortal and kill.
Coincidence?
Bless me, Father.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we always end up getting at Register Rock for some reason. But McGuire is a really fascinating name to be what stuck out.
And very specific. And so I believe his first name was John. It was a J name. And
Don.
no,
I think, oh.
it started with a J.
It wasn't with a J.
But we looked it up, and actually Warren did a lot of research on it, and he found out that I don't know what they're called. I'm going to say trail boss, like the guy who leads you from the east to the west. His name was McGuire. And he actually had done that trip at least 6 times. And one of the things that he had said was 6 lifetimes. And we thought, okay, he's maybe lived 6 lifetimes, been here 6 lifetimes. But then as we learned the story of him, it was kind of cool, right? Because he made the trip 6 times, which probably felt like a lifetime to him.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was probably the most interesting, I would say, I wouldn't say solid, but hard thing that we got. But yeah, we always end up getting
Malevolent there for some reason.
Demonic, satanic.
And it's not unheard of for maybe some satanic things to have been done there. Visitors.
It is a historical spot.
And it's a spot that almost every time we go, somebody's camping. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty little spot off the beaten path. I believe it's free, or maybe $5 or something for you. Yeah, super cheap for you to camp there. So it's a nice little spot. So who knows what's been done there?
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's some really dark energy at that location. So hence why we need to go stay the night, just me and you.
Yes,
and
without the children.
Yeah, without the children.
And that was pretty much it. And as we were leaving, and if you remember, the first thing that the box said was rainbow when we first got there. As we were leaving, there was a massive rainbow. It was gorgeous, which helped my kids because Kenneth was getting really freaked out at Register Rock. In fact, we had to walk away because it was saying some pretty awful things. And so I took him away. We walked away, and I reminded him that that he has God in his heart, Jesus in his heart, and My kids go to a Christian school, so
Surround yourself with light.
it's big for them. And so as we were driving back, Kenneth sees the rainbow, and he tells me on the phone, he's like, now I know that guy, because I told him, like, you know, a lot of them are just bullies. They're just trying to intimidate you or scare you. It's not true. And then Kenneth was really sweet. I was on the phone with you guys because he was driving with you, and he was like, Mom, I know that they're just bullies now because the rainbow is a promise from God, you know, which is a promise that won't flood again.
Yes.
And what happened at Massacre Rocks? The most massive flood in the history.
I know, that's kind of crazy. So actually we got a lot of stuff there when you collectively put the two together. Actually, we always get a lot of Register Rock. Got a lot of Massacre Rock that we didn't get before, but we weren't really trying before.
And it kind of came full circle, which was pretty cool.
And it did. It came full circle as we did more research and as we re-listened to things. Things all seemed to coincide together, which was really creepy. The whole thing with Charlotte, though. When she said...
what if the devil lives there?
That still got the goosies.
And that's just not like my daughter. She doesn't talk about the devil,
Stuff
except
like
for
that.
when she says, like, you're going to point to the devil, but she's always very, like,
but not in
lighthearted.
Yeah, she's not in that tone. Anyway, so I
Next step is to do water babies at Massacre Rocks.
Massacre
Rocks.
Well, we'll have to, like I said, we'll stay the night. We'll get some more recordings. We'll get some more equipment. We're new to this, guys, as far as, like, the recording part of it. So hang in there with us. It'll get better, I'm sure. But, yeah, I would say if I had to rate it, are we ready to rate?
Can we rate them individually? Massacre Rock versus Register Rock?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to give Massacre Rock like a 4. And I say we got a lot of good things.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. We get a lot of good things. Some things that kind of did, I think, narrow in the fact that they're aware that they're at least in that area, because it talks about Hagerman, it talks about water, it talks about...
It was very specific.
Yeah, but the only reason I'm gonna not gonna give it a full 5 is because not a lot of it was cohesive. Register Rock, I'm conflicted. The fact that Register Rock was consistent with our first experience with Register Rock wants me to aim high, but because of how dark it is at Register Rock, for whatever reason, I want to drop it down, so I'm going to give it like a 3.5. So
I'm kind of going the opposite way. I'm going to give Massacre Rocks a 3.5, and the reason is because the reason why I feel like I'm giving it even that really is because I'm in such shock that we got the things we got and that it was cohesive, right? So again, our first time going there, nothing touched us, nothing jumped out of, like those sort of things, right? But the things we did get was pretty cool. So, and I thought it was very cohesive with each other and not just like repetitive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the other way with Register Rock. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because it's so consistent.
Yeah, which is really weird.
It's so consistent.
The thing is that, like, you could say that these apps just cycle through words. The words that we get at Register Rock are not words we've ever gotten using these apps, except for just at Register Rock.
Right. Or Hagerman over at Massacre Rocks.
Right.
Who in their right mind uses the word Hagerman?
I think there's like 10 people who live there.
Yeah.
So, so for all the people who might be skeptical about the apps, I'm skeptical about them sometimes too. It is an app. It is human made. There's going to be errors, and obviously they want money, so they want you to keep using it. But it's almost, for me, it's undeniable. It was almost the exact same verbiage at Register Rock. And if it is, let's just say for whatever reason, right? I'm trying to be a skeptic here. Let's just say it is geographical. So let's just say it like it does GPS you, and like, oh, okay, well, these are the words we used last time. Why didn't we get the same words at Massacre Rock?
Right.
Why?
Oh, true. And McGuire, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's very specific.
I want to say the first time I went, it said a name too, but I want to say it was like Peterson or Patterson or something like that.
It did say a name before. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But I do remember there was a name.
So it wasn't McGuire. So that one is different. But Massacre Rock, their words were completely different, and they were very specific.
And if you think about the GPS, though, Hagerman's at least 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of other cities. Pocatello.
Is it Hagerman on the app that where words actually pop up?
I don't know. I have to ask Warren. I don't remember. No. It was on the spirit box.
Oh, okay.
He had a spirit box on.
Okay.
So it said
Hagerman.
And it wasn't a word we had said. It wasn't a word that he was reading out loud. It was a word he was reading, but not out loud.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that wraps it up for us. Wasn't a tour guide. We are our own ghost guides in this one. It's our own personal experiences, and yeah, I honestly, even if you just are traveling, you should stop by and see Massacre Rocks and Register Rock. It's just a really cool part of history.
Yeah, and historical. Mm-hmm. It's great. Somebody did stop and ask us. This lady, sweet lady, asked us where the actual organ, the ruts were from the wagons.
Yeah.
They're not there, but they are in a little town called Soda Springs.
Oh, I think they're actually in Montpelier.
No, they
are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw them when we played golf in Soda Springs the other day. Yeah. And it's a little sign that says ruts.
How cool is that?
Yeah, we can actually go tomorrow if you want.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so I know that we kind of wrapped the podcast, but me and my mom had an idea, which was, could we use the software we used to record to speed up that really slow EVPs that we recorded at the plateau at Massacre Rock? And holy shit, or should I say unholy shit.
Unholy shit.
So we decided we don't want to just tell you guys what we hear, because then I think your brain is programmed to already hear it. So we're going to play to you it sped up, and then we'll go back with our record where we figured out what they were saying because we sped it up. And I'm curious, did you guys hear the same things we heard? And then if you didn't, do you hear them now? Right? It's kind of like little science experiment. Anyways, so let's do that now. We're going to play the unedited, just sped up version, and then we're going to play where we talked over it. Okay, go.
Now we're in the lower plateau part. Okay, so now we're in the lower plateau part of Massacre Rock. Snake River's just right behind us. Warren has his first EMF thing on. That's just the tone of it. Fell off the ground. What fell off the ground?
I know what you do.
Did you get engulfed by the water from the flood?
We can speed it up there.
Were you a native or a settler?
Or other. Are you elemental?
Very slow. Let me try my one.
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. This podcast is kind of all over the place, but we just cannot stop getting stuff that we just can't explain.
Yeah.
So, if you noticed, the sound clip that you first listened to is not sped up. That's because we played the recording of the sped up version, and I'm telling you.
So many weird things tonight.
So, then so we played back the sound clip for when we sped it up, and it works just fine in the beginning, and then it's almost like someone is breathing in the microphone over everything else that it said. And there's no explanation from that, for that from us.
No, because
we have the AC turned off.
Yeah, there's no wind in here at all.
The mic has not moved.
We're not close to the mic.
It starts just fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We are gonna play that clip too, just so you guys know what's going on. But I want to give you a warning, especially headphone warning. It's loud
and it's staticky.
It's loud and it's staticky. But how about 10 seconds maybe into it, you're going to hear what we're talking about. I don't know how to remedy this.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to speed it up without recording it with another device and then playing back that device's recording, which is what we've done the entire podcast.
Right.
For videos and sound clips that we had, and then they've been just fine. So what is it about this one that won't work?
Now, I do have bits and pieces when we were trying to listen earlier. I did it in smaller clips. So we'll see if we can add those into the podcast and make it work that way.
But to that point, this is, again, headphone warning.
Yeah.
Here's the clip that, for whatever reason, it sounds like someone's breathing in the machine.
So strange.
One. There it is again. Two. Three. Four. So there's no shortage in our mic. We haven't adjusted it. We haven't changed it. All these sound clips that we're recording live right now, they're coming out just fine.
Right. It literally makes no sense whatsoever.
It really does sound like either like there's a shortage or like someone's got the mic straight up to their mouth like this.
Like breathing in it, yeah.
Yeah, and all you can hear is I don't know how to make any sense of it.
Yeah, I don't
So
either.
I'm really sorry. The most we can do is post that recording on our Facebook page, but it just sounds like a plug. But
yeah, but I do have the short recordings if we want to try to.
Yep, so let's try those. I'll watch the bars. I'll see if it starts to get staticky again.
We're not allowed time to rest.
I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, I'll try it one more time. It's something, Ross.
Something don't have time to rest.
From both sides. Oh, I heard from both sides. What'd you hear?
Time did I?
Oh, is that what it said?
I don't know.
Okay, let's try it again.
We both died. We both died.
So that was one recording. Let me go back to some of the
Which
earlier
is showing
ones.
up just fine on the bars. I don't understand. The phone is exactly where it was positioned the first time.
So strange.
I'm pouring more wine.
Thank you. That's the same.
Was killed.
Play again?
That said was killed, did it not?
Was killed.
Okay, let's go back to.
Some of them weren't sped up though, because I wasn't messing with it. I was
Yeah.
in the software right.
Something virgin?
No. We ended up finding out.
Play it again.
Devil worship.
Devil worship. I think this is on the next one we figured
Okay,
out.
so let's just pause there. It looks like everything's just coming up just fine on my Instagram. I'll double check though. But the words that where's your list? The words that we did end up coming up with. We had a hard time with some of them. We had to close our eyes, and when we closed our eyes,
that's when
it
we
was
could
like
hear
immediate. So if you need to go back, try closing your eyes. Sometimes it just helps take that sensory away.
And my phone keeps recording without me pushing the buttons.
So weird.
So strange.
So the first thing, well, what's weird, when you play the EVPs back at normal speed, it sounds like the first actual EVP says Massacre Rock. When we slowed it down, it sounds like conversion or something.
Right, but then so we sped it up. It clearly.
And then, yeah, when we sped it up,
clearly.
and we closed our eyes, because that was the one time we're like, I just don't know what they're trying to say.
Right.
And it's so clear, it says devil worship. And we, like, our eyes
both started crying.
Immediately, like, and even, like, it makes my throat feel like it's gonna close.
Yeah.
And the next thing that we got was...
I didn't write them all down in order.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I was just writing the ones that we figured out later on.
Because it'd be easier to go through with it. But I think the next one was killed.
Was
right?
killed. Yeah.
Then,
no, the next one was fuck you.
That's right. The next one is fuck you.
And then was killed.
And then and then it's a slower fuck you.
Yeah.
And then the next one is I don't want to. No, I was thrown off the ground.
I was thrown off the ground.
Mm-hmm. And then Warren asked it, were you engulfed? And at that point it says, and it makes sense, now I'm thinking about it, it says, I don't want to die, I want to rest. And I wonder this person was treading water for a really long time, and they just wanted to rest, but they didn't want to die, and so they were fighting really hard.
Or maybe they were brought back from something.
Or maybe they just want to rest in their afterlife.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So after that one you get...
And you both died.
Is the last one.
Is the very last one.
Mm-hmm. So those are the things that we picked up on. If you guys heard something different, we would love to hear what you heard. It was really hard for us to decipher some of the stuff, but as for the audio issues, I don't know where that's coming from. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's going to be loud. You know, we've got static background noise. Okay, so we decided to try one more time. Again, we have not adjusted the mic. We have not changed anything. The computer hasn't been touched.
Nope. Same recording. Same
distance, and it recorded fine. So it's still staticky, so again, still headphone warning. But here is the sound clip where it recorded just fine. So weird technical error, doesn't make any sense. We recorded just smoothly once it stopped. It's almost like the first time it just didn't want to, I don't know, didn't want you to hear it. So.
And I will say that sometimes in the original recording where it wasn't sped up, you could clearly hear what they were saying, like I was thrown off the ground.
Also, I'm glad you brought that up, because the last one, you hear one thing. I don't know what you guys are going to hear, but we heard it once we slowed or sped it up. But slowed down, or like the normal version, we hear Shoshone, which is our local tribe name.
And that's not what you hear.
It's not what you hear
with it sped up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, sorry. So here's that clip. Enjoy.
Let us know.
Yes, please let us know what you hear, because we could be.
I'm mind blown right now.
It's been interesting just recording the episode.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Yeah. All right. Ready? We'll close our eyes again. Jump. 1. There it is again. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7.
Easy. All right. Well, good night, Toasties.
Yep.
Hope you're onto your second bottle of wine, like we are.
Tink, tink. On to the next one. Alright guys, it's Elena, and that just about wraps up our last episode. Make sure that you check out our Facebook group where we post videos, outtakes, and paranormal photos.
And that, my friends, was a solid 3-star shit show. Cheers to that.